Hey, I'm Marcus.
I'm Rhaiu.
And I'm Nick.
We are working class nerds.
Cue the intro. That's right, we are Working Class Nerds, the podcast that gives you no information about your favorite information.
Today is Thursday, May 9th, 2024, and you can find this I Don't Have a Voice podcast on Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and anywhere you can find a podcast in the galaxy far, far away.
You can also find every single Working Class Nerds episode on YouTube. Just search for Working Class Nerds Podcast or go to youtube.com/@workingclassnerds. Click on playlists, click on Working Class Nerds, and boom, every episode, past and present, right at your fingertips.
And this is episode 245. And you can find us all on the social media. I am at MarcusB814.
Rhaiu is whatever Rhaiu's handle is. And I am at Nick Byrne. That's NICKVR. And in this week's episode, we're talking about the major initiative victory that Helldivers II players have just won over the evil empire that is Sony. Joining us in our galactic conquest this week is the community overseer from vault number WCN. It's Rhaiu. What's up, Rhaiu? And what have you been up to?
Hey, guys. Oh, not so much. A lot of gaming. Thankfully, with my daughter at her age where she's curious about everything, she's taken a massive interest in gaming. So let's see. Been running Predecessor. It's more of a third-person terrain-based MOBA. If you ever played Paragon, it's the exact same thing, just under a new developer. V Rising was just released yesterday. That's more of an ARPG type thing. If you ever played Battlerite, similar to that, just more story-driven. Gigantic Rampage Edition. Gigantic is an older game. It's still a hero shooter, sort of. Kind of like Overwatch and things like that, but it's a little bit more team-based, capturing points instead of pushing payloads and all that jazz. So a lot of fun there. Fallout 76.
Nice.
Was incentivized to pick that up just from a couple of different people I've been playing with. They've been enjoying it. And, of course, the Fallout series being a big hit that it is, I was like, well, let me go back and play. I haven't played since New Vegas. So
I was just going to say that.
Yeah. Wait, you haven't played... Did you play Fallout 4?
Mm-mm.
No, I mean... It's...
Go ahead.
I think it's fun. I don't think its RPG elements are as good as New Vegas. And if you enjoy 76 at all, you'll definitely like 4, because I think 4 is still better than 76.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely going to add it, because I never really took a lot of interest in the Fallout series. I felt the story was a bit more confusing for me at the time.
Yeah, that makes sense. It is confusing.
Yeah. Just 76 being a multiplayer thing, and I'm more of a social gamer these days, so people are playing it. I'm going to jump in and enjoy whatever experience it is. But I'll definitely be adding Fallout 4 to the list then. Lastly, Remnant of the Ashes, not the second one that's just been released, the original one. I've been going back and playing that some more. That is a fun little RPG, again, another social shooter, so a lot of fun, Souls-like. And then lastly, the Division 2. Not your paintball Division 2, Nick. Tom.
I gotcha.
No, Tom Clancy's Division 2. A couple of my family members have been playing that. They've been trying to get me onto it. And so, again, social gamer, decided to pick it back up. Haven't played it in years. And believe it or not, they are still pumping out loads of content for that game.
Yeah, the raids in that game are insanely difficult.
They really are.
Yeah, and they figured out the AI enemies. They are the smartest AI enemies I've ever encountered.
You know, I remember way back when playing like Terrorist Hunt in it was for Rainbow Six. I don't even know. Vegas 2, I think it was. And even in that, the AI, I remember the AI being like really good. I'm like, damn, they like flashbang you and like they knew what they were doing, you know?
Yeah.
You ever play the SOCOM series where you have
Yes.
to like strategically move? That's what I feel like I'm playing, but instead of it being a top-down strategy, I'm actually one of the soldiers. And just the amount of strategy these AI put into it. They send heavier people, you got snipers up. It's just it requires a lot of coordination, but it is a lot of fun.
I can imagine. Yeah.
So, Marcus, how's it going for you?
Do you guys want to hear the punishment or the funny stuff first?
Wait, are the Hurricanes in the playoffs?
Yes, they are.
Oh, I don't know if you talked about that.
I didn't. You're right. Hurricanes, round 2 of the playoffs. Yep, going up against the New York Rangers, beat the Islanders. So, and they're actually playing tonight. Well, played yesterday. So I'm predicting a win for the Hurricanes at PNC. That's what's going to happen.
Let's go. Well,
So, Marcus,
So you
can we
hit the
hear the
Bruins,
bad,
but-
painful stuff first?
All right, so
yeah, always bad. When it's got good news, bad news, you always pick bad first.
all right, so the bad news is I've been playing Elden Ring. The bad news is that I've been stuck on this boss for 40 deaths. And
Oh,
this
boy.
boss is called the Putrid Erd Tree Avatar. I linked it, but it was from my phone, so you guys will have to copy and paste it in the notes if you want to see this fucking thing. So there's these Erd Tree avatars everywhere in the world, but this one happens to be on a cliffside where you don't have a lot of room to fight it, and it drops this shit called Scarlet Rot, which it fucks you up. And legit, every other boss in this game that I have fought, whether they're story bosses, whatever, have not been as hard as this goddamn boss. And so I went to the Reddit, the Reddit, and I looked it up, and everybody feels this way with me. Like, there's a whole group of people that are like, fuck this enemy. You know what I mean? Because there are these avatars all over the place. But this one just sucks ass. And it might be like the hardest one for me so far. But I'm still enjoying it. And believe it or not, it's worked out well for me. I've been playing a lot on my laptop because I'll be in the basement and Ryan will be playing Minecraft. And I'll just pull out my laptop and I'll just sit there and I'll play Elden Ring, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But believe it or not, I haven't used my computer for gaming in probably 3 weeks.
Wow.
Because I was in Florida and then I was in Kansas City and now I'm just getting back. So, in between training, the gym, and hockey, I'm pretty fucking busy.
No, I get it.
I've been like putting the kids to bed at 8:30 at night and then I'm going to the training center and training until 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Wow.
What are you doing for training? What do you mean?
So
are you
there's a gym,
trying to lift up rocks with the Force?
Yes.
With Yoda on your back?
Yes.
Like that's what when you say I'm training, that's what I think of every time. Is like Luke in Dagobah.
Yeah,
and
that's
you're
pretty
like
much
running
what
around with Ryan.
So that's pretty much what I'm doing, just with medicine balls, push-ups, jumping jacks, and sit-ups, and anything that sucks ass that involves the gym. Right? No, I haven't started that train yet. That's week 3.
Burpees suck. I hate burpees.
He'll be all right.
Oh, I'll be fine. I've already shed a little bit of weight. It feels actually good, but I think the best part is I'm eating right and I feel fantastic.
Yeah.
Like I haven't eaten pasta, pizza, rice, or anything like macaroni and cheese, anything bad for me in 3 weeks or 2 weeks. And I feel fantastic.
That's great.
I think that's always the hardest part about diet or trying to lose weight is the dieting part of it.
Well, I get into like, as you both probably know, and Nick really knows, I'm a determined motherfucker. When I put something in my mind, like I do it.
Yeah, you go like go big or go home is precisely your personality. Like if you're either completely in or completely out of something.
That's correct.
You're like you give 100%. If you're in, you're in, and that is it.
Mm-hmm.
You've got clearly everyone knows you're stubborn and stuff, but when you're determined to do something, you do it.
Yeah, so basically the story is, and I'll just be real about it, is I got on an American Airlines flight, which it should be called American Crap Lines.
Yeah.
Dude, worst flight ever. So I had the window seat, dude, and I'm a big human.
Yes.
Like, dude, the curve, and it was a small plane. So like the curvature of the plane was like right at my head, and my head was like tilted for the whole plane ride.
Oh, that's terrible.
I'm
That
a
makes it
big,
worse.
and I'm a big guy, and
Yeah.
I just felt like ginormous. And when I came home, I was like, I'm done. I'm going to shed weight and I'm going to do it right. So
Yeah.
anyway, so I train on the ground for about 25 minutes.
Okay.
On
On not ice.
On not ice.
Yeah.
That I have, that's all I can make it before I'm dead.
Okay.
And then my off time is I go put on my skates, go down, put on some pads, and I power skate for 15 to 20 minutes. And
is that like? It's like suicides and stuff.
suicides
Okay.
and figure eights around the goals
Yep.
and sprinting in between them.
Okay.
So what I'll say is probably the funniest part is when I take an edge and I slip and I fucking eat shit.
That's why I keep getting earthquakes. Okay.
Yes. But when I tell you I'm sweating, like I'm sweating so much, I grab the top of the glass at the thing and hold up and I just breathe. Cause like
It
I'm
just fogs
fucking
it up.
exhausted. It's just pure fog. But anyway, so my last part of all this, the funny part is June 30th this year is my first hockey game.
Whoop, whoop, for the
What position do you play?
for the non-beer league.
It's a novice draft league. So I'm going to be drafted and it's all people who have like 3 years experience or less.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's like
everybody's bad.
Yeah, everybody's bad. So I'm going to eat shit no matter what.
Yeah.
And it's great.
I mean, I clearly don't have the time now, but eventually I wouldn't mind doing that.
So
You know?
I'm really looking forward to it. And it's really funny because when you mention this shit, like my wife texted a few of her friends and she texted June 30th, be there. Marcus is eating shit. Biggest comedy show of the year.
Well, they should just like get cocktails or something.
Well, that's the whole point is when you finish the game, you just have cocktails.
Yeah. Perfect.
Oh, that's nice.
Is it like a tailgate or is it in the venue?
I'm not really sure, but I'm pretty sure it goes out to the parking lot.
That's what I figured. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
But what I've learned is I'm a determined motherfucker, and where I was skating before to skating now is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is it feels good. Like when we finish the podcast, I have a 45-minute Peloton ride to do before
Wow,
bed.
determined,
Bro,
with this.
Hell yeah,
Holy
dude.
you want
shit.
to know what my goal is? You guys want to know? I'll call it out right now so to be held accountable.
Okay.
I want to be 235 pounds.
Do you have a date? Or
No,
just in general. Just go till that is achieved.
240, 235, but I really want to be 235.
Yeah,
I
like,
want to
I
walk.
feel like if
I
you
w-
see 235 on the scale, you know, minus like severe dehydration or something, then like you're 235 to 240, depending on how big of a shit you took that day and that type of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's the truth. I really want to go into a store and buy an extra large t-shirt and put it on.
Hell yeah.
All right.
I will say it depends on the fucking brand though.
Of
Like,
course. Yeah.
there's
of course.
like I've grabbed an extra large shirt and it's a medium at best.
Yes.
And I'm like, I know I'm fat, but like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But
and my last thing,
yeah.
the Acolyte trailer is fucking legit.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. I gotta add that to my week.
Bro, we can talk about it right now. You don't even need to add it to your week.
Well, the other thing.
So the Acolyte looks great. It looks dark. You know what I mean? And what I like about it is it's dark. And it's not like Mandalorian, like, meh. This is something new.
What do you mean? No, I know what you mean. Like Western TV show.
Yes, it's new. Like it can still be Western TV show or samurai
Well, it's
show.
not supposed to be. It's supposed to, yeah. It looks more Kung Fu-ish.
Yes, but that's fine with me. But it's brand new. This has nothing to do with fucking Luke Skywalker. I'm so over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a totally new time frame. It looks really interesting and compelling. I'm intrigued at the Sith is like has a mask on. We don't know who it is. Is it Plagueis? Is it before Plagueis? Because the time frame is sort of in between, where it's probably not him. It's probably someone that's before him, Tenebrim or whatever. But yeah, it's very interesting and intriguing. And are they going to keep that? Or are they going to retcon that?
Right. And
plus, I like seeing the High Republic stuff. That was all cool.
And I just finished the brand new Star Wars book, The Living Force.
Okay.
It was fantastic because it's a lot of Qui-Gon, which I like Qui-Gon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do too.
So, Nick, what's up, dude?
I splurged on. Actually, I kind of did it by accident. I thought I was linking my PayPal account to the TSCG player website. When I was like going in my cart, I thought I clicked enter one too many times, and I bought it instead of clicking like set up all right, here's our way to pay. And I bought a booster box of Star Wars Ultimate cards.
A whole box?
A whole box.
I gotta ask.
Did it come in?
Yes, it came in last Monday.
So did you open them all?
Didn't you do that last week too?
No, no.
Someone, because I remember I heard last week's podcast, someone was on PayPal and clicked one too many times and bought something immediately.
Oh no, that was this. I talked about that again then. Yes,
okay.
that was this.
I was listening to it, I was like, there's no way he made that mistake twice.
No, it's the same mistake, but the box is in now, is my point. But for a whopping a lot. But not as much as they're up to now, but it was worth it. It was fun. Taylor and I opened them together, which was cool. She opened them, and then I pointed out which ones were cool. She was like, "Oh, this one looks shiny." And then she didn't like it, but then started to get into it, and then kept wanting to open the next pack and the next pack. And then she was like, "Oh, this one's hyperspace. Oh, this one's a foil." And then she started to look at the rarities, and she was like, "Oh, there's 2 legendaries in this one." Because she look ahead to the end, and I'm looking at the first few that came out. So that was cool. I haven't sleeved them all yet, but I'm working on it. I've actually been doing that. It's kind of nice, idle thing to do with my hands while I'm chatting, a little fidget toy type of thing. But yeah. In not so great news, our pup got sick. She had some kidney problems. She was had a fever and was shaking and in pain and all kinds of stuff. She was in the doggy ICU for a day. But she's recovering now and doing better. And they drained some stuff off her kidney. Pathology and infectious cytology. Excuse me. Pathology and cytology results are pending, but it's not cancer, and it's likely not infectious either. It's just sort of a cystic nephropathy, which just means you got some growth thingies on your kidneys. It's a genetic thing. So nothing too crazy. Also in good news, I officially accepted a new job.
Let's go.
Congrats.
Which is sweet. It'll be a rather large raise and a promotion, and it's a roughly 15 to 17 minute commute.
Wow.
Instead of an hour plus in traffic. So that is epic. That is a very, very big difference.
When do you tell the company?
I'm giving my notice tomorrow, actually. I accepted with the new company already, and I'll tell my current company out. But I'm giving them a big notice, 4 weeks and change. So
wow, why so much?
That's generous.
It's because it's there's a really large volume of stuff to change over. It's not cut and dry. He's gonna. It's not like other jobs. Let's just say building cabinets, for example. It's not just all right, Johnny builds all the extra cabinets now. It's you have to take me off of studies and put people on studies and get it approved by pharmaceutical companies and IRBs and blah, blah, blah. And I'd be screwing them over if I was 2 weeks. I probably could have gotten away with 3, but I was trying to be. I
just tell you something?
Yeah.
And this is my new motto. Why the fuck are you going to give somebody 2 weeks notice? Because they don't give you 2 weeks notice when they fire you.
Well, yeah. But I also don't want to burn the bridge. You know what I mean? That'd be burning the bridge. When I got hired there, I asked for more. And that's common in my in clinical research. Like
all right.
the hiring manager was like, yeah, I've always asked for 4 weeks whenever I've like left places.
And I feel that's fair, especially like you're saying, you got all this other shit that they have to do all to compensate for the fact that you're not there anymore. So
All right.
that's
Yeah.
fair.
All right. So here's the next question. Do you have a pocket camera?
Pocket camera?
Yeah, that you can like just put on your button-up shirt tomorrow? Because I want to see your motherfucking boss's face when you tell them.
Oh, I don't. I wish.
Oh my God.
I'm actually wearing my Star Wars. I got a cool button up for my birthday. I forgot to tell you. It's like gray with little tiny stormtrooper helmets of all different colors and clone troopers.
All
And
right.
it's a short sleeve button up. It's like a Hawaiian shirt almost, but like
All
kind of not. So I'm wearing that tomorrow.
All right. But can you imagine the face? Because they are not expecting this, right?
I don't think so. I mean, I feel like they should probably know that I've been fucking driving forever.
Do they know you're driving?
Oh yeah, they know I'm commuting from Plainville. I talk about it all the time. So,
But you know what's
they should
crazy
know.
to me is that if they wanted to keep you, and this is the truth, they could have said, "Hey Nick, why don't you work 3 days a week from home?"
Well, I can't. I mean, I could, but not like my job is not set up for that. I do a lot of stuff in person, like samples, shipping stuff. You know, it's like it's not really set up for that per se. There are jobs in research where you can, but that's not really the case in my case, I guess.
But it doesn't matter because you got a new motherfucking job.
Hell yeah. So that's pretty sweet. Yeah, it's technically it's kind of a managerial position. I'm like overseeing people and stuff. It's pretty sweet. I know, me in charge of stuff.
That's
people.
dangerous.
Well, it's not. I accepted it. They gotta do the background check. They might find this. So who knows?
TK427 is going to be pulling overtime, keeping you in line.
But no, it's a 26% raise is what it's. So it's. I'm pretty pumped about it. I'm in the big league. Yeah, I'll be in the big leagues now. But
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
The raise is great. It's the commute that's even better.
Oh yeah, that's huge because that's like quality of life times 1,000. I can sleep. It's literally more sleep. I'm like less tired when I get home because that commute is terrible. It's what should be like a 42-minute drive turns into like an hour and a half because of traffic in like multiple different spots. So
Yeah.
I'm really pumped about the drive, the lack thereof. I also saw Phantom Menace in theaters last Friday for that 25th anniversary. Went with Jake CP, aka Gronkin87, in the community, and his lovely girlfriend Alexi. Taylor came with me too. And then we saw the Acolyte trailer at the end of that, which was sweet. I forgot that was like a bonus feature. But
Nice. How was it seeing Phantom Menace back in the theaters?
I honestly liked it a lot. So like I watched it once when I was 4 when it came out. So I never saw that originally in theaters. I saw Attack of the Clones in theaters, but I didn't really know what the hell was going on. And then I saw Revenge of the Sith in theaters, and that I actually got. I was like old enough to actually like process it. I don't know if I was 7 or 8 or something, but I don't remember what years they came out precisely. But when I really saw Phantom Menace was like when I went back and watched it, and I definitely thought it was better when I've gone back and watched it in the past, like on a normal TV. I thought it was better than its initial response warranted, and then seeing it in theaters, I think it's way better than its initial response warranted. I think the only thing that was annoying is Jar Jar Binks, but even that, like, he's not even that annoying, you know? It's not that much. He's not on the screen that much. You know, there's a lot of awesome parts of that movie that
Dude,
has nothing to do with Jar Jar
When
Binks being an idiot.
when they're in the desert and
Yeah.
Darth Maul shows up
Yeah, at like
out of nowhere.
he just fucks up Qui-Gon.
Yes.
Qui-Gon gets back on the ship barely, and he's like, "God, no." Like Marcus after doing the power skating.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Uh,
You're not wrong.
He's like, what the fuck was that thing?
Yes, exactly. Like, we must get back to the council.
Yeah, it's like that was not no fucking regular Joe schmo.
Yeah.
That was a Sith, and it's a Brack on top of it, and it had some Night Sister magic infused on top. So, but yeah, that was awesome. I enjoyed that. I thought it was much better. I think all of us walking out of the theater were like, that was actually much better in the theater. Jacob's a big Star Wars fan as well, so he was saying the same thing. He was like, that was much better.
Did you guys watch Tales of the Empire?
I did. I also watched Tales of the Empire. I enjoyed that.
Wow, that was actually really good.
That was good as well. I saw there were some people were like, oh, we didn't get enough or something. I thought it was great. I enjoyed that. I liked Morgan Elsbeth backstory a lot.
Bro. I was watching it with Julia and Ryan.
Yeah.
And the red planet, I was like, this is Dathomir.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like instantly harder than the fucking Russian Tsar bomb. Okay? That fucking... And that was fucking rad. And seeing Morgan like grow up and how it all happens with Thrawn and everything, I was just like, this is fucking fantastic.
Yes. I liked that a lot, and I liked the Barriss Offee plotline too. I think people didn't like that as much, but it was like I liked seeing, you almost had two different outcomes of the same story, right? It's like two people sort of falling from grace-ish. Granted, Morgan Elsbeth is like already on the dark side and gets presented to the light side. And she says, fuck that, I'm going extra dark. And then, well, I guess in the beginning of the Barriss Offee's story here, she's dark side, getting involved with the Inquisitors. And then she goes, no, actually, this is not how I want to be. And it's just, neither Jedi nor Sith. So,
yep.
I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. But, Marcus, do we have any AIE news?
Sunday nights this week, it's coming back. Destiny 2 Clan Night. Like I said, I've been MIA with a lot of different stuff. This Sunday we come back. We're going to be jamming. I haven't played Destiny in months. I'm excited to come back and jam and play some of the new content. So if all this sounds fun to you, go to aie-guild.org, get the Discord information in the top right-hand side of the page. Ask for a guild invite. Whether or not you play any of the games that we play, just come hang out in the Discord because it's always a lot of fun. So I don't know if Nick actually has to pee, but I'm sure he has to pee, so we'll be right back.
My God, what is taking him so goddamn long?
Nick, hurry up, man.
It's all that beer you're drinking. Come on, bro.
Bros before hoes, man.
And we're back. So today we're talking about the Helldivers 2 and Sony PlayStation Network requirement situation. So you want to take us from the top, right?
Yeah. So if you haven't seen over X, or if you haven't seen anything on TikTok or Twitch or any of the social medias about this, what happened is Sony wanted players to create a PSN account and link them to Steam for them to be able to play Helldivers 2. Now, from what I have found, this was originally what they wanted to do with the game. But because of the launch and the server capacity issues and everything that was happening, the people over at Sony made the decision to can that and just...
No, Arrowhead.
Well, because Sony was the publishing arm of it, so they had to be in conjunction with it as to not have that requirement to get everything under control.
Right.
So
in order to have stable servers at launch, they were like, all right, way too many people for our servers. Let's just disable the PlayStation Network requirement just to get these things to be stable, and we'll put that back on in 6 months or something once we have the server situation figured out.
Right.
And Sony's like, all right, that's fine. Yeah, do that just to get it going.
Yep.
And then
now that we've gotten the everything under control, the game is massively successful. I mean, there were talks about this being in the running for Game of the Year and the amount of reviews it's gotten and everything. But to give everyone else an idea, there's over 100 different countries that can't use PlayStation Network.
177 to be precise.
Why? Their government, from what I understand. It's all government regulated. They don't want people messing with Sony because Sony's over in China and Japan, and it just gets too political, and I didn't want to dolphin dive into all of that crap. But there's over 100 countries, 177 that they can't use PSN.
Yeah.
So what Sony did is they actually pulled the game from those countries, so you can't purchase that game.
I think Steam did. So Steam was like, hey, look, we can't sell a product on our store that what people buy, they can't play. So we have to pull it from our store in all those countries where you can't get on the PlayStation Network.
Yep. So it was pulled there, and Sony still hasn't released it either. Now that they've walked back the requirements of that and everything, they still haven't released it back. So it's still on Steam. You can't go and buy it if you're in one of those countries. Now, the reason that
you can't buy what?
You can't buy Helldivers 2. If you're in if you're in one of those 177 countries, you cannot buy it. If you already bought it, you can play it and you can still do it. But if you're a new person trying to do it, you can't. So it sucks for anyone that wants to try and get into it.
Well, it's going to kill the game.
Well, that's where the power of the community has massively affected this.
Has said not today, sir.
So the major directive that the community took upon themselves was to review bomb the game. And that
in order to tell Sony, hey, you can't do that.
Exactly. Not only did they review bomb, but they started mass refund requesting on Steam. And Steam was actually approving past the limit that they have. I think it was like 2 hours of gameplay.
Right.
Steam was approving.
They're like, hey, look, if you quite literally cannot play the game now,
they just give it back.
You don't have the product that you purchased, so we legally, you know, it makes sense. We have to refund you.
Yeah. So hit them where it hurts. Hit them in their wallet. So and they were able. The community of Helldivers 2 was able to take the game from mostly positive to mostly negative in 48 hours.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's so many reviews.
So many reviews changed. And so because all of that got back to Sony, it was hitting them, it was affecting them. Yep. They walked that statement back. Now you don't have. Now it's no longer a requirement. And people can still
But you still can't buy it
But you still can't buy it in those countries, correct. Which and there's actually a tweet from Pilistet, the CEO of Arrowhead on X. You can go to his profile and look at it. He says, we are talking solutions with PlayStation, especially for non-PSN countries. Your voice has been heard, and I am doing everything I can to speak for the community, but I don't have the final say. One thing I'll point to, the people over at Arrowhead and the shitstorm that has brewed because of this, hats off to them in their way of handling things. They know that they're caught in the middle of this.
They crushed it, yeah.
But they've been doing fantastic. I mean, again, if back to the CEO, he even says, sorry, everyone, for how this transpired. I hope we can make it up and regain the trust by providing a continued great game experience. I just want to make great games. So, yeah. I mean, they've done the best that they can with the unfortunate shitstorm that they've been handed. And since the PSN walkbacks have been taken care of, now those reviews are, as of now, mostly positive back on Steam. People are back to making content for it, yada, yada, yada. And we actually get a fun little Easter egg. Well, not really Easter egg. A fun little tip of the hat to the community. There's
I love this.
The cape design of the Steam review chart.
So if you look at like a Steam review chart, it's a graph
over
like a period of time, and you can see like graph bars that go down into the orange or up into the blue as like more review positive or negative or negative or positive, I should say, respectively. Reviews come in and it'll show you like the amount of reviews. Well, the graph is from when they review bombed it is a bunch of orange bars going down to the negative, and then afterwards above it it's a bunch of blue in the positive to bring it back. Well,
so one of the community members did is they took that image and they put it onto the back of a Helldivers 2 cape, and it looks like escape pods dropping down from the planet and people being back up. So it's a real cool little tip of the hat to the community if that comes into the game.
Yeah, the rumors, I think it got some traction. Like a user, made that image and posted it, and then of course people are photoshopping it into a player character to be like, this is what it would look like. And the devs, I think I got some traction where I read something that like one of the developers was like, this is pretty easy to implement. We could probably do that, That would be sweet to put that in there. Because it fits within the game lore too,
It does. It really does. And I don't know of any other game, and if you guys know of one, correct me, where the community voice has been so unified against the actual publisher that they are forcing the publisher's hand to say, nah, we're not going to let this fly.
Right.
And now we're getting something that could potentially be permanently etched in the game as a reminder of that.
I've never heard of that before, but I mean, it kind of makes sense with the community of Helldivers because that's the whole shtick of the game, right? Is to like the literal community coming together to liberate planets. Like you can choose what planet to liberate, and
Right.
You can. There's nobody telling you where to go. It's just the community being like, no, we got to go get this place. You know what I mean? You don't have to follow the orders in the game, but people do, and they come together to get it done. So then, same deal. The community rallied. Instead of liberating a planet, we got to liberate our game. Let's go. Get those reviews in.
Literally took it from a gaming world to the real world. We actually had a real life major directive, and we beat it.
It's crazy.
Well, it just goes to show corporate greed.
Yeah.
And how, they're trying to swing their dicks around and say, oh, I want everybody to have a PSN thing. So then when at the end of the year, we can say we had 5.5 million new PSN accounts created.
Yeah.
Right. And in reality, nobody actually cares. And in the process, they're losing people. Because, at the end of the day, 170 countries not being able to play the game, is it going to shut down their game? No. But those people might think twice about buying a PlayStation game again.
Yeah. They're hanging on to that exclusivity and trying to extend it to the PC games that they're being the publisher for. And it's not, they're learning it. PC games don't work like that. People don't appreciate that.
For sure. Well,
but
if
I think it's great for the gaming community. I hope it sets a precedent. It's like, hey, you can't do that. There's a lot of like talk about companies revoking access to games that are otherwise not online because they're shutting down their online servers for it or something,
Right. Well, another game that I'm thinking about is, remember what happened with Battlefront 2?
Mm-hmm.
With those microtransactions, and the community flopped that game.
Yeah.
And then they took it right out.
You're right.
And it took a long time for it to come back.
You're right. I completely forgot about the Battlefront 2 launch. Not the classic one, the EA one.
Right.
Yes. Oh God.
We had the recent
that didn't get fixed. That's sad. I mean, even Battlefront 2. Yeah, it sucks that that game was cool. They finally fixed it, and then they pulled the support for it. That sucks, but it's all good. I just wanted to take this episode to highlight that cool moment because it's not often that you see the little guy. I don't know, the community actually come together and win and get a W against the corporate commanders.
Well, can you imagine the Helldivers devs going in there and going, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Right.
Like lose their mind.
Yeah, it's like, well, they partnered with Sony. Probably this little, I would imagine it's a fairly small studio. I don't 100% know the logistics
right.
of that.
And you guys are some fucking assholes.
Yeah, they're like, hey, we're a small studio. We just partnered with Sony because they took a chance on us. We did our part of making a great game, and now you're fucking us because you're trying to be greedy.
And I wonder if there's going to be legal ramifications of this.
I don't know. I mean, I would imagine so. You've just made it so that tons and tons of people can't access the game. That's crazy.
Well, and that might not have been in their contract when they signed as the publisher.
Yeah, I think it was. It was that it was going to have the PlayStation Network originally. They rolled it back for the launch because of all their server issues and stuff. With the intention to bring it back later, but they didn't realize how big of an issue that would be to do.
And I guess my thing with that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there are a lot of other studios that have second services that require that account link. Like I'm thinking like Epic Studios, even some of the Microsoft publishing arms require a secondary account to be linked to Steam if you purchase it there. So, and that's where I think there was a lot of back and forth in the community, is that there are already games that require this. What's the big deal now? And it just a lot of back and forth.
I think it's that PlayStation Network is not available in most places, compared to other, tie-in. Yeah. What's the word I'm looking for? Accounts.
Which is fair, but that poses the question, given how popular Helldivers 2 was at launch, without that, I wonder how successful the game would be if it did stay implemented, if Sony didn't budge and say, no, this has to be implemented regardless of server issues. Would the game have balanced itself out, caught back up and gained traction, or would it have died on the spot?
I get the sense that it would have balanced back. I mean, it would have taken a big hit but not died, because I feel like that community is very devoted to that game. But that's my initial intuition about it. Marcus, what do you think?
It's hard to say, because you never know. If the game is good, people are going to play it.
Yeah. I
say this shit all the time, that if a game is good, you're going to be successful.
Yeah.
And and if people attach themselves to it, it's going to blow up. But if you're restricted, like if they released the game with the restrictions, I think it would have been big, but maybe not huge.
Right.
Because I don't know what those countries are and how many people play video games in those countries in comparison. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I'm sure, what's that tiny country that, Luxembourg? I'm sure there's not that many people playing in Luxembourg if it's not available here. You know what I mean? It's like Rhode Island.
Right.
It's tiny. But yeah. Final thoughts? Anything else before we move on?
Fuck Sony.
Alrighty. Well, with that, it's time for Working Class Questions.
Working Class Questions.
First question's from Atrax. Who won, Drake or Kendrick Lamar? This is a pop culture question from the old A-Trizzle. I would say Kendrick. I think his songs were better. I wasn't following super closely, but I would say lyrically speaking, I prefer Kendrick anyways. Gentlemen, what are your thoughts?
Definitely Kendrick over Drake. I can appreciate Drake has decent music, but I don't think he's cut out for that.
Yeah, no, I agree. This is not his forte at all. It's not his sort of arena
No.
at all. But yeah. Meanwhile, Kendrick, I think, put up better songs in the rap battle. On top of the fact that I think he's just better at that anyways, in general. Marcus?
I have zero opinion.
All right. Moving right along, we've got another versus question from Goldie. Goldie asks, how long... Well, actually, this is a different question. How long do you think Jake Paul will last against Mike Tyson in that boxing match?
Did you guys read the rules?
Yes.
No. Are they BS?
Yeah, so Jake Paul can take steroids.
Okay.
Or whatever performing-enhancing drugs.
Can Mike Tyson not?
Nope, he cannot.
Okay.
And
I feel like
I didn't know that they changed the rules again. Holy shit.
And Jake Paul's brother can tag in if Jake Paul gets tired.
Oh, that's fucking stupid.
You're joking.
This is what I was told.
Hang on, Jake Paul versus...
All right, we got it. Yeah, this requires some Googling. Because that's just dumb. I mean, granted, I still pick Mike Tyson because I feel like he could KO one of them quickly and then KO the second.
Dude, Mike
Jake
Tyson,
Paul's much better boxer.
If you watch the Mike Tyson training videos, dude,
I know,
I don't give a fuck.
Vicious.
I don't care how old that guy is. That guy is going to fuck them up.
Yeah. That's wild.
Jake Paul can take performance-enhancing drugs and his brother can tag in.
Wow.
Or in something about like they could do a 2-on-1 too if they needed to.
Oh, that's dumb.
Okay, here are the official fight rules. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Fight will be contested at the heavyweight division. There will be a maximum of 8 2-minute rounds. Knockouts allowed. Contestants will wear 14-ounce gloves. The fighters will not wear headgear. Results will go on the contestants' official records. And it's taking place at the AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. So nothing about attacking or PEDs. But I think the biggest thing is the fact that this is going on the official record.
Yeah,
well, it's a real fight.
Well, I know that, but a lot of these fights,
it's not. Mike Tyson did not want exhibition.
It's been what,
that's good.
6 to 3,000 days. I can't remember the exact number since Tyson's last actual recorded fight. Like, shit.
Yeah, whatever. That's fun. Let it rip. I think it'll be a spectacle.
My money's on Tyson for that fight.
Well, yeah, of course, me too. Everybody's money's on Tyson. Like, come on. Well, I mean, I guess people would bet just for the sake of betting, but alrighty, moving right along. Duft asks, who did worse this week? PlayStation fiasco against PC gamers or Microsoft against devs? Eesh. I'm going to say it was. I think Sony's. Well, I don't know. They both suck.
Yeah, a lot of turmoil in the last week.
So I actually feel strongly about the Microsoft thing. Listen, when Microsoft acquired all of these companies, you knew they were gonna get rid of studios.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you don't need 15 project managers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just because they're shutting the studios down doesn't mean everybody's losing their job. They're just shutting them down and probably putting them on Elder Scrolls 6 for all we know. You know what I mean? Like,
or Fallout 5.
Right. Or something else. Like, I'm not
hey,
saying,
we need to capitalize on that show. Let's go.
I'm not saying 50% or 70% didn't lose their jobs. I'm saying that also, too, correct me if I'm wrong, AI is doing a lot more. And that can have a factor as well.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know that this has directly to do with that, per se.
I don't know, man.
But that could definitely be a factor. And then Goldie had a follow-up to that. Add on Nintendo announcing some random account that they'll release their new console within the fiscal year. So the official Nintendo account, that was odd as well. Not a great couple weeks for game companies doing stuff.
Sony's BS was definitely sucks. I still feel that Microsoft takes the cake as far as the worst for this whole stuff. Just because even though the devs may or may not have lost their jobs, going from a smaller studio being acquired by a larger studio, as a developer, you may not have as much freedom and a say as you would with your games as you want. So kind of tying their hands behind their backs, and then Nintendo's is just weird. I don't understand that.
Yeah. I don't either. I don't get it. But maybe someday we'll have a Working Class Nerds gaming studio.
Wait, we can't even get you to be on time for the podcast. How can we run a studio?
What are you guys talking about in here?
Find out next episode of
Working Class Nerds.